This is TNT Sports' Adam Summerton, and you're listening to Three Fish on the Shirt.
This is John Sander. You're listening to Three Fish on the Shirt.
Hi, welcome to this evening's Three Fish on the Shirt. We're early recording this week due to work reasons. We're a bit short of time, so recording straight after the Fleetwood game. Steve, we've noticed over the last week or two that the podcasts are doing really well. The audience figures are continuing to rise nicely, with some great bits of footage we've had in the podcasts. And what we're doing is obviously going down well. So that's great news to hear. And thank you for joining me once again. Welcome.
Always, Dave. Nice to be here again.
Yeah.
How are we doing?
Yeah, good. Fresh from a win. So that's 4 on the trot, 3-2-1 victories in a row.
Yeah.
13 points from a possible 15. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling promotion, man.
There's a lot of cautious optimism about promotion.
I don't know. I listened to there's a guy on Humberside radio after the match. He was asked, "What do you think about making the playoffs?" He think, "Well, we're going to be automatic."
He said, "No, we won't make the playoffs. We're automatic, baby."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I loved his optimism. I think it was a little bit tongue in cheek, but if you're going to come good at a stage in the season to have a run at the playoffs, this is the time of year to do it.
It's building. I tell you, it's building. There's something going on. You said it at the end of the game today. There's a togetherness in the squad.
Yeah.
You can see it on the pitch and everywhere. So we'll see. But we've achieved last season's points total. So,
and I think the other thing is Dave Artell alluded to it on the aftermatch that he gave to the club earlier. I've not heard the BBC one, but he tends to be fairly consistent on both what he says. He said that it's another set of things to tick off every week. Some nice positives that we've got. Never beaten Fleetwood in the league before. For one thing, that wasn't lost on me either. That so we're not beaten them. So that's another tick out of the way. 4 wins on the trot, which we haven't done for quite some time.
Yeah.
The away form is back up and good, and the home form's good as well at the minute. So things are nicely coming together at the right stage of the season.
Well, that's it. And like last weekend, we was 2-0 up. Donny got a goal back. We held out. Today was slightly different. 1-0 up. They got a goal back to equalise, but then we went back up and scored to go 2-1 up straight away.
Yeah. And it was a disappointing goal to give away as well. So that you'd have had our heads go down in the past, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah. I knew there was something going today. I was just like thinking, oh geez, I said to you, this sort of game we're going to end up learning drawing or even losing or something stupid, and we should be winning it.
It was a funny game. It was a low key game, and we started off a bit slow, and they looked like they were going to try and build the play and get a lot on the ball, and we just let them start passing it about nicely. And I thought we could be in bother here, especially if we don't get ahead. And but that spell kind of went away, and we did get back into it. And then up pops Georgie boy from a distance. What do you reckon to that?
Yes. Well,
before you say anything, Steve, let's take a quick look at it.
Oh, we got some footage.
Yeah, we got some great footage. Oh. Just bear with. Yeah, what do you think to that? Great camera work as well.
Yeah, well, I thought at the time it took a deflection or a goalie or something happened, but no, the ball I think moved in the air, and it was a hell of a strike. Good play by Tom.
Yeah,
down basically you held the ball,
held it up,
laid it back.
Yeah, and waited for help.
And McGregor, I'm so pleased with this. His first ever league goal, I think.
It probably is.
Said.
Yeah.
I think he said first goal for us, but first ever goal. And yeah, he could have got a better one, really. But
I wondered when you said, "Oh, any deflection?" And I said, "Well, I can't see it from the footage that we've got." But the only thing I can think of from the way it flew, that it maybe moved a little bit, and we saw it at half time on the screens in the concourse. Let's call it the concourse. The barbed wire and that doesn't necessarily do it justice, but concourse will do. And it looked like it might have moved in the air a little bit to deceive the keeper.
It didn't. I think
nowhere near it, did he?
That's not. Oh, he was nowhere near the goalie. But he hit it. That's a cracking goal. Yeah. And he was man of the match. Look, for me, he was man of the match at Donny.
Yeah.
And he got man of the match today by the sponsors, was it? And I thought Rose might have got it, but he's just consistent, McGregor, and he's been our best player of the season.
Breaks up play as well when we've not got the ball, doesn't he?
Yeah, he just intercepts balls, he gets balls, and and he needs to score a few if he can. But another first goal scorer.
But one of the things about that goal for me was that we got it at a time where it changes what the other team's thinking. And I said to you, I think we might be in bother if we go behind here because they'll just settle into the rhythm. We'll get frustrated. Yeah, we didn't. We just got back on the front foot after that little spell in the middle of the first half. And it's a pop up with that goal from almost nowhere. But when I was lining up to try and get the footage of it, I was just like kind of zooming in on him to get the cross. And he just let go of it, and I just followed it, and it's come out nice in the footage as well. But great time to get on top, and then we held off till half time just to go in front. Despite a bit of argy-bargy in the benches by the looks of it, not necessarily between each other, but Artel got booked after about 18 minutes for God knows what. Must have been something he said. The ref was diverted from across the field to get to the benches. And then we found out at half time that Pete Wild was sent off, 45 plus 5, and that coincides with the teams going off the pitch. So you can only think that must be something to do with something said in the tunnel or on the way off.
Yeah, so he got a bit wild.
Furious. Good day for managers getting in bother as well. We had some other news about a certain managerial casualty of the day. We'll not revel in it, but we'll have a laugh all the same.
Well, Mr.
Hollowhead sent off after 10 minutes, was it?
10 minutes, yes. Red card. I think their striker, Harry Smith, got booked by the look of it in the 9th minute. And then in the 10th minute, he got a red card for saying something he shouldn't have done, presumably, as he does.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer bloke.
He's a lovely fella.
Yeah. In small doses.
Maybe the ghosts bloody ghost came
The
and
ghosts
took him
have come
away.
back. Anyway, so second half we come out and we started slow again. Second half a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah. It's just I don't know what happens. First 10, 15 minutes we're like, come on, get going. And then thought, they're going to get a goal here. And they bloody did.
And
It's so typical Town.
Lo and behold, I managed to capture the clearance and again followed the ball. Big boot up pitch really. And the defence and the keeper sort of both got caught in two minds. Right started to come and then stopped. And as luck would have it on Fleetwood's part, the ball landed right at the feet of their striker, who then just decided, well, Wright's come out, I'm going to chip him. Wright stopped, and he was neither here nor there then, was he?
Braden, yeah, he was their best player, I thought. Was most dangerous player.
He looked lively, didn't he?
Yeah, he held the ball up well, he was strong, looked good.
But fortunately for us, I mean, they didn't have that many chances, did they, to be honest, over time. Although Jordan Wright did make a great save, I think at 1-0, didn't he?
Yeah, he pulled off a couple of good saves today, right? He's getting better and better.
Yeah.
And and it was a good one to win. And to say they came down last year, didn't they?
Yeah,
They were in Division 1,
exactly.
League 1. And
giving away a really disappointing goal like that, we mentioned it earlier. Ed's gone down in the past and struggled to get going again after that. But 2 minutes later, we get a free kick right in the middle of the pitch, central to the penalty area, a bit similar to the Jordan Davis against Cheltenham era, but without Jordan Davis on the pitch. So you're thinking, who's going to take it? They're lining up for what you think is a shot, and then we flip the ball out wide quickly to Denver Hume, much to your disgust, and Mark, who sits near us,
if you
threw your hands up in Spurs. Oh, what the effing hell are we doing with this?
What's he doing?
And,
great goal.
And this is what happened next. And see Rosie got on the end of it. He leapt really high. He's not the biggest bloke, is he? But he does get up well. And he made no mistake in the air, and that was.
I haven't seen it.
Fantastic.
I've not seen it back, but he seemed to get up like almost too high in a way, and he could have easily skied it over the bar. But
he got up early and got over it, so it was almost like a flicker into the corner. It'd be interesting to see how much flick he got on it from the gantry camera angle, because I've only seen it from our angle.
Striker, Danny Rose scored again, so that's what's that?
4 in 5.
4 in 5.
Three consecutive home games.
Yeah, and it's the winning goal as well.
Yeah, that's the winner.
That's the other thing.
We could have won. Could have and should have won by more, I guess.
Oh, it's a weird game today. Another weird game, but at least we managed to get 3 points.
And big coincidence. Third 2-1 on the 2-1 on the trots. We had the Carlisle 2-1. We've had the Donny 2-1. And now we've had today 2-1. Doesn't matter, they all count. I'll take them.
They're all slightly different, sort of, So say today they equalised and we got the winning goal.
Yeah,
straight away. So
and I say our teams would have folded on less disappointment, wouldn't we?
Oh yeah. No doubt about that. They've got stronger bonds now, the team, and it's a regular team, isn't it? Pretty much regular. I mean, Bickeroo obviously didn't play today for whatever reason.
Yeah. There's a word on the street is that a car accident. He's not seriously injured, but he's going to probably be out for a week or two, just recovering from the shock and that.
So, yeah, but Barrington started, which he didn't do a lot. It's a bit lightweight, but he obviously didn't fancy Wilson from the start, did he?
But Wilson looked quite lively when he came on. I thought.
And he looked good. Yeah, he did some good. Looks quite. I think he's bulked up a little bit. I don't know.
He's just not been on the pitch enough for us over the last couple of years, has it? That's the sad thing. But,
no. He could be a good player. He could be a good player if there's something else going on we don't know about. But
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
we don't know. I mean,
Whenever,
it's been quite
whenever I
some
see
time
him
now.
come on, he always looks good.
Yeah,
He looks
and he's
lively.
scored quite a lot of goals for the
Yeah.
time he's been on the pitch, but he's not been on the pitch often enough to get a good run.
But hopefully Ibiku is okay, and we'll.
Yeah. Curtis Thompson had a little run out. He's looking
Looks all right.
good and solid in the midfield when he comes on.
Ainley as well.
Yeah. Then Denver again looks good coming out of defence. He's looking better defensively now, as well as his assists. That's another one today on the assist list. He must be right up there on that list.
He won't be with. He's such a good player. He should be playing higher league.
It's
He's
hard.
so good.
It's hard to understand us with him being out of contract. Hard to understand us maybe getting him again into it.
Yeah.
But look, fingers crossed. You never know.
Yeah.
If he's happy, it just depends where where the money's coming from. But fingers crossed.
That's it.
We can but try. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what Pete Wild's issue and situation was. Well, if we've before we edit the final version of this, if we've got a comment from him, we'll dig it out. But other than that, no, a satisfactory afternoon.
Yeah, definitely.
In front of 5,996 people. Your guess in the attendance competition was 5,600, which put you about 390 odd out. I was about 240 out with my 6,250, which gives me the week's win, which makes it 8-7 to me. And in the overall margin of error from the start of the season to now, we're about 150, 200 apart now, so we're really close.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Overall,
it's quite close.
Yeah, and those two guesses have been the closest we've been for quite a while as well.
I was going to say we're not very good at it. So we're getting there.
We've not been very good at it, no. So, other news around the club this week. We're just picking up on Jason Santhorson's had a real lot of plaudits over the last few weeks in his new role since the sort of Bromley game, playing in that kind of wide right wing back role, and he seems to be relishing it. It was a bit quieter today, but I thought
a little bit quiet today.
Over the previous 3 or 4 games, he's been absolutely superb.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can't keep that standard up. I think every week, isn't it? It's,
the problem is players like that don't last very long because they end up getting snapped up, don't they? If they do. So.
Yeah. So maybe he's just told to just pipe it down a bit.
Calm it down,
calm it down. Let somebody else do it for this week. McCracken. So he stepped up, and we've had a few goal scorers this year, haven't we?
Yeah, and the strikers have started coming in, weighing in with a few. Now, it might be Johnny Rose's 9th or 10th this season.
Yeah, when you look across the team, Barrington scored goals early in the season.
Yeah.
Luca's not been in the team. Can't get a team now.
No, it's strong, isn't it? And when we've got somebody to come on, they look good, don't they?
And we've got the new guys, haven't we?
Yeah,
Geza
and Jordan Davis is back from Wrexham, having been back for treatment. And Charles Vernham's had a bit of heartbreak. His thigh's gone now, and it's a real shame, isn't it? What's happened to him now? I've seen a few comments about how we should terminate his contract and all this, that, and the other. But we can't really afford to have players playing 10 games a season. But this is a profession. It's difficult, isn't it? It's not like it's a job like no other, isn't it? We don't sit on 1 or 2 year contracts and can't perform to the full. But most of us can do some other duties if we're not fit, can't we? In some cases,
it's just devastating for the guy. He must be. And then everything you read, he's so professional. Say he trained. To come back to fitness, he's like the best Artel's ever seen. He's in the gym. He's doing his best. He just needs a break. Really, just needs a break.
And, his only break he's got is a breakdown, unfortunately, and it's like they're seeing out to the end of the season. We understand, so we'll monitor that. But fingers crossed, we can get him back for a final season.
Next season,
season, and he can have a good run at it. We'll see what's
in League One.
Well, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, definitely.
Matty Carson's gone out on loan to Alfreton Town. That was a bit of a surprise. It's only a month, so if we do need him in the run-in, then I guess we can get him back. And Jake Eastwood getting a game under his belt for the reserves last week. I think that was predates the Donny game. But that's good to see him back. I think he had an hour.
That's great.
70 minutes.
That's great news. Yeah, definitely.
Really
He's
concerned
back,
at the start that he might be a career ender for him, that one.
Yeah, so that was Carlisle game, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he's been joining in with the sort of team warm ups and stuff, which has been good to see. Seen him at 1 or 2 games. Lots of talk of the week about songs staying in your head. So we referred to it last week of the
Jesus,
the Tequila Ubiqua song as on people's minds. The Svan Thorsen's on fire. Your defence is terrified.
Yeah. The Ubiqua one, look at that. I stopped really singing it.
And we understand the players were in the same mode as well. So
on the Monday, they were still singing the song.
You the quality of the away support last week and how impressive it was. I see David Artell also was praising the home team, home support again today. Which is good.
Oh, was he? I've not seen his interview afterwards, but
it was definitely not an away atmosphere, but you're never going to create that at home. But unless
it felt better atmosphere today.
You've got a better chance at night games as well, haven't you, for some reason. The atmosphere seems to be closer in.
Yeah. It was a better atmosphere today, better than the last home games.
But I think that issue about the songs were in players' heads and they're all singing them at the training ground and what have you is a good indication on the camaraderie that we've got going. And we mentioned it earlier on. So that's really good. And we had early on in the warm up today. We had Geza Turi was in the warm up, even though he wasn't involved in the squad. Clearly, they've got him involved in the match day experience to get him up to speed.
He's nowhere near fit yet, is he?
So. No, and then they're going to give him the likes of a pre-season sort of effort to get him up to speed. A, so they don't break him, and B, to give him the best chance of being successful. So that's good to see him in town at last.
Yeah, we got the geezer in town.
I did see last week he came onto the pitch after the Doncaster game and embraced Jason Santhorsson. And we got a guest on this week to talk about sort of Faroese football, sort of the links with Iceland and how that'll pan out. So after a short interlude, we'll speak to Siggi Einarsson, who has been watching the progress of Geza Turi, and I asked him about the Faroes football, the fact that they seem quite pleased to have a player coming over into the EFL, and we covered sort of Faroe Islands links to Grimsby and the like. So a proper good interview, and we'll speak to him very shortly.
This is TNT Sports' Adam Summerton, and you're listening to Three Fish on the Shirt.
This is John Sander. You're listening to Three Fish on the Shirt.
We've got a very special guest coming to join us, Siggi Einarsson from KVF, the national broadcaster on the Faroe Islands. Siggi, welcome to Three Fish on the Shirt. Thank you for making time for us.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So Grimsby Town has signed our new midfielder, Geza Turi. Am I pronouncing that correctly for starters?
Yeah, here in the Faroes, we just call him Geza Turi.
Geza Turi, yeah. So that's good for us to know. We can simplify the name. Can you tell us a bit about Faroese football for starters? Because Grimsby Town have started looking at different leagues to scout for players. And why do you think they were looking in the Faroese football?
We are a semi-professional league. The top 5 teams are semi-professional, and the top lower teams in the Faroese League are maybe not that semi-professional, maybe more amateur players. And we have gained the last couple of 10, 15 years, we have become more professional in our by being more professional in the players are more fit and tactically there are more coaches in the Faroes League coaching. So it's the setup is quite professional now than it used to be.
Yeah.
So And
how long has that development taken place over? Is it very recent, or is it over a long period?
Yeah, from the millennium and until now, it really took off. The Faroese FA they set out that we should have more coaches in the Faroes, and that they provided the courses for this, and they still do. So we have more professional coaches in the Faroes, and the kids are trained from a very young age by coaches that have all the right what you say the right papers.
Yes,
they have been coached through the UEFA
through the
and the FIFA
licenses.
system.
Yeah.
The licenses. That's the word I was looking for. Sorry.
Yeah, no
So
apologies.
yeah, and physically we've also been better. We the players train more than we used to. So so the level of the Faroese players and players internationally or in Europe, we have tried to come up to the standards of the Faroese standard, of the European standards. If you look at the national team, the Faroese national team, we used to be battered. There's no secret there, but before we used to lose by 1-2 goals in the latter stages of the game, and we don't do that anymore. So the physical level of the Faroese player is almost as professional as it can be. So
Brilliant.
But still, the Faroese League, the tempo isn't quite as it is in the mainland Europe or in the UK. So we sometimes when we play European games, we can see the difference between the Faroese players and the really professional players.
Yeah. Is there a lot of interest in football around Europe, and particularly English football in the Faroe Islands?
Yes, we have. In the later years, we've there are more interest from abroad from two Faroese players. Agents are maybe sometimes here in the Faroes watching games. And Grimsby were here a couple of times before. They because they were looking for Geza, and others and also Eastern Europe are looking this way, and we haven't experienced that before. So, and we have some agents here as well, Faroese agents who try to get Faroese players abroad, and so it's we still want more players to play abroad to higher the level even more.
Yes.
So, but there is more interest now, and that there used to be than before.
So, what do you see this as an exciting time for Faroese football then, or are you worried about too many players leaving?
No. I think it's the general opinion here in the Faroes that we want to have as many players abroad as we can, because in that way we can even we can get our national team up to level, more up to level. So we want to because we can. The numbers here are there's been some research in the Faroes that we can. Our players are even as good as the European players when it comes up to the 14, 15-year age.
Right.
And then we can see that there's the Faroese players they need to develop even more, and they can do it here. So we want the players to move abroad to get that more
So they need
more
the
experience.
bigger clubs and the development in that professional environment.
Yeah. To develop even better than they can here.
Excellent. So, in terms of getting our raw material in Geza from that league, what sort of a player have we bought? What's the what can we expect from him?
Yeah, he is a player who has a skill he has a very good knowledge of the game. He reads the game very well. He when he played for Witchinger, he was like a defensive player, very good on the ball, can pass the ball really good, find spaces, and He seems very calm on the ball as well, even under pressure. He can, like you say in the UK, he can dribble in a phone booth or
Right. Yeah.
So he also here in the Faroes he always found solutions even under pressure. So like a small twist, a small turn, and he got some free space and then moved the play forward. So good on ball, calm, and yeah, he has a good eye for the game. Reads the game well. So I hope when he I know it's there is more tempo, more physicality in the English league than the Faroese. So it might take some time before he has to get used to playing in England. I believe.
And that's something I wanted to ask you about, because we've signed in the close season Jasons van Thorsen from Iceland. I wanted to ask you about the cultural differences or similarities with Faroese culture and Icelandic culture, and wondering whether it would help Geza having somebody like that at the club that's already been through that sort of experience in the last 6 months to accelerate his assimilation into the team.
Yeah, we as the Faroese, we see Icelandic, and the Icelandics see us as a brother nation, and the language is quite similar, if not similar. There are still differences. You have to live in Iceland for 3-4 months before you understand each other. So, culture-wise, is also almost the same. But the Icelandic, they may be more professional and they've come a longer way in getting players abroad. And I don't know, it's the Icelandic mentality is maybe a bit stronger or more eager. They want to players themselves when they are 14, 15. They want themselves to move abroad, and we need a bit of a culture change here in the Faroes. We are a bit used to you're living at home with your mom and dad, and everything's cozy and everything is done for you, and you don't need to take that chance and to move abroad in an early age, at a young age. So we're looking at Iceland, how they are doing it, and we want to copy that as well, their mentality on that subject.
Yeah. So do you think having somebody from a brother nation here already, who's only just joined and been getting used to it, will help Geza?
I hope so. They, language-wise, they maybe cannot speak in their native tongues, but I think if they can speak Nordic or English, or if it's English language that the Grimsby prefer that everyone speaks. So, but I think the Icelandic player, he can help because if they are but both of them are together, they can help each other in maybe if they're going to a difficult time, a new place, and you have to establish yourself. They can help each other. I believe so.
I think from the club's point of view, we've seen with Jason that he's really coming into his own now. We saw flashes of how good he was at first, and sometimes in games he would look just like he was lacking the confidence a little bit to do what he was good at. And then once he realised he could do it, the last 3 or 4 games he's been playing in a wide role that really, really suits him, really up and down the pitch, and defending when he needs to, but attacking when he needs to. And he's given us a really nice balance in the team. And he's had to get used to a lot of different things that we hadn't realised. The pitches for a lot heavier. Do you have sort of artificial pitches over in the Faroes? Is it?
Yes.
So that's something that particularly our home pitch, which is a bit soft at the minute, is a challenge for players that have been used to a firmer surface.
There is something that we notice with Faroese players when they move abroad, because they have played on artificial pitches in the Faroes all their lives, and it takes time to get used to playing on natural grass.
Yes.
And there might be some, not injuries, but some something happens with your body when you switch from artificial to natural. So
different
so
emphasis on muscle groups, and I guess and
yeah,
bits of
I believe
joints.
so.
Yeah, Jarson was
Yeah.
suffering with his groins when he first started playing on the grass, but he doesn't seem to be bothering him now. He's flying,
Okay.
which is
Yeah. But
great.
but what you get from Faroese players, Icelandic players, is they will work their socks off
Yeah.
all through the game. That's our mentality as well in Iceland. That you work hard for your team, and there we don't have that Madonna mentality that
Yeah.
everyone works 100% all the time. So
And that's something that'll stand both players in really good stead with the Grimsby fan base, because we've had some really hard-working players over the years who maybe not the best players, but if everybody can see they're working hard for the club and for the fans, then they'll love them, and it'll be great. Even if things don't go so well sometimes, you know, our fan base really appreciates effort and hard work, if nothing else. Of course, we want them to
yeah,
be brilliant as well, but you know, it's something that is a minimum for our fans. And there seems to be a lot of um, coverage on social media of excitement about a player getting to the EFL from the
yeah.
Faroe Islands, and I believe Geza's the first.
There have been others in the past, but this is Geza is the first one for 15 years.
Right.
Yeah, we have had two other players who played. One played for Hull City,
All right. Yeah.
Julian Johnson,
Oh, I remember him.
a
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
a very hardworking player. He ran his socks off every game, so he became quite of a cult figure at Hull City.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was before they got promoted to the Premier League. He
Right.
played
Yeah.
for, I believe it was League Two or League One with them, and
Yeah.
then
I remember the name. I
yeah,
can't remember him specifically how he played or anything, but I can
uh,
remember the name because they're
yeah.
not far away. Hull.
Yeah, so yeah, the Faroes are quite excited that we have
Yeah.
a player playing in England again, because there is a huge interest in English football here
Yeah.
in the Faroes as well.
So do you
And
think
everyone,
we'll gain a few new Grimsby Town fans in the Faroe Islands?
so it's I really hope so, and because there is a history between Grimsby and the Faroes from 100 years back.
Yes. Yeah.
When the Faroese fishing industry began, the Faroese bought smacks. What did you call them?
Yeah. The boats. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fishing
we
smack.
bought them from Grimsby.
Yeah.
So our fishing industry is from we started from ships from Grimsby. So I hope that this can in a way establish a new or establish a new connection between
Yeah.
Grimsby and the Faroes. So
Yeah. It's always
I
exciting.
believe I hope that this will happen, and Grimsby will gain some fans here as
Yeah.
well. I really hope so, because many have grandfathers here in the Faroes who have sailed, been fishermen, and they always speak very highly of Grimsby because
Yeah.
they bought Christmas gifts in Grimsby
Right.
and sailed them back here to the Faroes. And my grandfather, he was a fisherman as well, and he spoke very highly of Grimsby always. So
Yeah.
so
But,
it's a connection, and I hope it will
I,
be.
I
Yeah,
hope so too, which is one of the reasons I wanted to speak to somebody from there and find out more about it, and give our listeners an insight into where Geezer's come from, and what we can expect, which is really good. And I'm looking forward to seeing whether there is more interest from the Faroes for our club. Our club has
yeah,
never been particularly massive, or in terms of performance over the last 50 years or 45 years I've been watching the club, and the last time we won a championship was when I was 9-10 years old. So I saw the best of the football when I was small. So there's a
mm,
lot of people who are looking for a bit more success, and new and exciting players coming from different places is exciting for us, and we thank you for lending them to us for hopefully a long, successful period. And yeah,
and I hope it's. I know there's been some hype around Geza Turi, and I hope really he will live up to this hype that he's got from Grimsby, and so. But we here in the Faroes, we expect quite a lot from Geza. Because he's a professional lad. He clearly wants to be a professional footballer.
He seemed
so
pretty
we
keen.
hope so.
When he there was an interview with him before he'd signed on our BBC local radio, and because he hadn't signed yet, the club were quite nervous that then somebody was going to come and further interest and sort of steal him away. And it caused a bit of friction between the BBC and the club. Did you pick up on that and on your side?
There was some rumors about another club maybe coming in after him, but no, I think it was only rumers. I believe
we have a saying: "All's well that ends well." Everything turned out in the end. But there's a definite notice when the local BBC chap talks to the manager, the town manager now, about players. He just says that player plays for somebody else. I will not talk about it. And it's all since that interview. So it's quite amusing to watch now. But it'd be great if we can we can keep in touch with you over the next few weeks and months, and maybe you come back on again and we can talk about how it's going for Geza and see what your thoughts are, and we can check back in on that Faroese Grimsby Town fan club that may well or may well not be started.
Let's have fingers crossed. And I really hope that Grimsby fans they will take good care of Geza, because he this is first time that he's moved abroad, and he's not that used to that there may be some hype around him. So
if he asks.
He has to learn what all the media attention, all this, what it means to him.
If Yarsen's the standard to go by, our manager's very good at keeping people's expectations in the right place. He's already set expectation that we're not going to play him for a few weeks because he needs to go through a full, what we call a pre-season. All the the big heavy training that gets them up to level, because they don't want to injure him, bringing him full weight into the game. So that's good. They're quite good at keeping, but fans will always be fans, and they're excited. And I think again, like Yarsen, he scored a great goal on Saturday. It was classed as an own goal, but it was due to him dribbling around about 5 players. He just stood in front of the fans, and there was 3,000 Grimsby fans at an away game, and he stood there in front of them all. I'm thinking he now realises how loved he is, and I think the minute Geza comes across that, he'll absolutely feel welcome, I'm sure.
Let's hope so.
And we'll do our best to look after him for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you very much for your time. It's really appreciate it. And like I say, it'd be really great if we can come back and chat to you another time in the future. That'd be really fantastic.
You're always welcome to give a call or say I'll be happy to participate another time. No problem.
We appreciate you. So thanks again, Siggi from KVF in the Faroe Islands. You've given us a great insight into Faroese football and the culture, and we look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Thank you very much, and up the Grimsby.
Up the Grimsby, up the Mariners, as we say. So
up the Mariners.
That's the one. So
excellent, sounds good.
Yeah. On that note, then, Steve, unless there's any other business, we're quite short on time this week for recording time, but it's a nice little episode to wrap up another win. And we're on to Cheltenham away next week, and then Tranmere at home. And I've got a guest coming with me who's from the Wirral next week to the Tranmere game. So I'm looking forward to those 2 games.
Yes, so Cheltenham. Yeah, it's going to be a difficult game, that one. Cheltenham.
They're not bad at home, are they? From memory, they're quite
they've won 3-0 today. Yeah. Well, with 4 wins on the trot, mate, and confidence must be sky high. So, all good.
Yeah, and so we get decent away following, and hopefully we'll keep that form going and keep racking them points up. We're nicely tucked in there, just back of
Up
the
to
pads,
eighth.
up to 8th. Actually moved a place, but
No
we're
longer than
really keeping that pressure on those above and making a bit of a gap behind us as well, which is nice.
Yeah, we're on 51 points now from 32. So
and that's another little tick off milestone, isn't it? Last year's point total tick.
Yeah,
done, and we've gone over that now. Haven't we? 49, and we're now on 51.
Yeah, we're now safe.
Yeah. We will get that goal difference into a positive at some stage.
Oh, what is
-2 now? Is it?
It's -2. We're nearly there.
We had it after the Accrington game, didn't we? We nearly had it.
Yeah.
We got it to -1, and then we went and got tonked at Swindon or something like that, didn't we?
That's just mad, isn't it? -2. Yeah, Cheltenham are 11th, and they've got a zero goal difference. So they're but we're still minus. Yeah, we'll get there. All right. Yeah.
So we'll leave it there for this week. We'll go off in celebratory fashion, and we'll see people in the next one. Look in for our back episodes. We've got some great episodes. In the past with some great guests. We've got the Adam Somerton, we've got Steve Saunders, Mark Lever, Kieran Maguire, Levi Giles, our one of our own, the Grimsby boxer. Mark Lever, if I've not mentioned Mark Lever and Levi, I forget who I've said. John Tonder.
John
and now
Tonder.
This evening we're really lucky to get Siggi to have joined us from the Faroese National Broadcaster. So yeah, so we'll leave it there then, Steve. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one. Danny Rose, up the Mariners.
Danny Rose,
up the Mariners.
Up the Mariners.
Up the Mariners.
Up the Mariners.
All the best, mate. Siggi Einarsson from KVF, the National Broadcaster on the Faroe Islands. Siggi, welcome to Three Fish on the Shirt. Thank you for making time for us.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So Grimsby Town has signed our new midfielder, Geza Turi. Am I pronouncing that correctly for starters?
Yeah.
I've had camera failure. I'll edit this bit out.